Welcome to the Stow Restore animation series. This video guide will walk you through a simple and effective method for repairing puncture and corner damage to your exterior insulated finish systems. You will need the following tools and materials to execute this repair: water-based gel-type paint remover or a grinding wheel, masking tape, Stow RFP base coat, Stow mesh or Stow detail mesh, Stow EPS and the appropriate thickness, Stow primer, Stow finish, and clean empty buckets. The color and texture of your new Stow finish should match the existing finish. You will also need a stainless steel trowel, margin trowel, detail tools, plastic float, stiff bristle paintbrush, electric drill and paddle mixer, sharp scoring knife, sandpaper or a utility knife, and a handheld grinder. The first step is to clean the area to remove any dirt or debris from the surface with clean water and a mild detergent. Next, use a handheld grinder to remove the finish, taking care not to grind or deteriorate the mesh layer. Water-based gel-type paint removers can also be effective for this step. It is best to use a circular or oval pattern for this part of the repair. Once the finish is removed, cut out the damaged area so at least 2.5 inches of intact base coat and reinforcing mesh exists between the puncture damage and the finished edge. It is best to use a square cut for this step. Remove the existing foam. It is best to try and remove any adhesive that remains on the substrate with a scraper. Next, dry fit the EPS to make sure the pieces fit snugly in the repair. Apply Stow adhesive to the back of each piece of EPS and press into place. Make sure the EPS is flush or just slightly higher than the adjacent EPS. Allow to dry at least 24 hours. Once the adhesive is dry, rasp flush with the existing base coat. Apply masking tape to the perimeter of the repair. Pre-cut your mesh to overlap existing mesh by at least 1 inch. Apply the Stow RFP base coat in a thin layer across the surface area, then embed your mesh into the wet base coat. Check to make sure the new base coat matches the height of the existing base coat, especially at the perimeter of the patch. Allow to dry overnight. Apply finish with a stainless steel trowel. Remove excess finish from the tape, and then scrape the finish tight to the wall surface. Float lightly with a plastic trowel to match the adjacent texture and remove the masking tape. You can use a stiff paintbrush to stipple the wet edge of the finish into the adjacent finish and float if needed for texture match. That completes the repair. For additional information on recoating your building with one of Stow's functional coatings, please contact your local distributor or Stow sales professional. Additional repair videos can be found at www.stowcorp.com in the videos section.